In a free market, the intervention of government is in minimum level or exactly none of them. This is to ensure that the allocation of scarce resources is based on the market demand and supply, and let the price determined by the market demand and supply. Government intervention is the action taken by the government in a market economy in order to influence the economy beyond the basic regulation of fraud and enforcement of contracts and provision of public goods. There are many reasons which lead to government intervention, such as to address inefficiency of the allocation of resources, to maximize social welfare, macroeconomics, and social economics.
The Goods and Service Tax was implemented in Malaysia on 1st April 2015 to overcome the chronic budget deficit problem that our country facing since 1970 to 2012. It was consistent that the budget deficits exceed the forecast. By taxing consumption, the implementation of GST was to capture those who had evaded the income tax. Through this intervention, it helps to minimize the evasion of tax on consumption to a level where it is not possible under a retail sales or service tax. GST tends to ensure a stable and reliable source of revenue that is less likely to be influenced by income variations. It is also be expected to encourage saving and investment among Malaysians, which in turn help to promote longer-term growth, competitiveness, and employment creation.
However, the introduction of the GST causing the discomfort among the public has forced the government to delay its implementation. Public affect that GST will cause us even larger of one-time impact on the general price level. GST is likely to be regressive or will attract a larger proportion of the earning of lower-income households. GST is feared that the proposed rate will rise over time. As we know, GST is a multi-state tax, therefore it has two built-in features. First, multi-point collection and invoice trail, which will help to minimize tax avoidance and tax evasion. Secondly, it will protect revenue from tax evasion by retailers.
GST too affects lower income consumers. It is not an equitable tax when it compels wealthier consumers to pay more in taxes than their poorer counterparts. This states that if the proportion of income paid in taxes falls as the income rises, the tax will impose a greater burden on the lower income groups. This explains why the consumption as a proportion of income is typically larger for lower income groups. It will impose a heavier burden on lower income groups relative to the rich. After a large survey done, broad-based GST with a single rate appears regressive when current income is used as a base.
The base of GST is substantially different from the base of the old tax. Even if its base is the same, it could trigger a pattern of price changes that can leave a net impact on a price level uncertain. The positive impact may not always be passed fully to the consumers through lowering the prices.
Created using Powtoon.